There are some gold farms that are truly underrated, and for which this is one gold farm that I feel is an underrated one. So today we'll be checking out the Saronite and Adder's Tongue multi-farm. Let us begin. Okay, so today let's check out this multi-farm. It is a pretty dang good one and I love doing it. However, I do this instead of Wintergrass depending on if I have competition. However, this is done best obviously with a druid, and as such I would suggest you farm it. The farming route in question is pretty dang straightforward. All you have to do is fly around the zone in a really weird pattern, so I would really recommend you guys picking up Worth It and getting the importable route from it to make it that much easier for you. Failing that, if you don't use Worth It, you can always use the importable routes within my Discord that anyone can use for any gold farmer. Being said, let's just start herbing and we'll start farming. This gold farm is pretty dang straightforward. Just follow the route and picking up the herbs. The one thing of note that I would actually recommend from this gold farm is that you will find quite a lot of herbs, which we will address later on. I would always recommend that you use the Dark Moon Firewater Potion just to speed up your herbalism process, and making sure that you either have a druid or a sky golem to make sure that it works a little bit more efficiently. To be quite honest, it just makes more sense in that general area. That being said, flying around the zone is not a problem. All we're doing is picking up any of the ore that we find and any of the herbs. You'll find mass patches of these and then a couple dotted around, which isn't that much of a problem, so don't feel that you're getting stiffed with all this stuff, because a patch of herbs and ore will be around here somewhere, and as such you can get a decent amount of gold per hour for doing this. Being said, the ease of use of this gold farm is not many people actually farm it. I do this one fairly regularly because Wintergrass is usually pretty heavily contested for myself, and as such I figured it would be wise to actually promote another one just to even out the playing field, which is this one currently in 𝐂𝐸𝐸𝐸. Now if we went into Worth It and we had a look at multi-farms, we actually already have this one in here. All we have to do is go into the search function and all we have to do is type in 𝐂𝐸𝐸𝐸, where we'll be able to find this and what we are estimated to actually gain. This is roughly an estimation of 228 Saronite ore and 252 Adder's Tongue, along with 102 gold clover, as well as 180 tiger lily, 151 dead nettle, and 24 frost lotus, along with an array of Wrath of the Lich King gems. All of these sell relatively well thanks to the new auction house merge, and we shouldn't have that much of a problem farming this stuff up and selling it on. However, I would actually go on to state that this gold farm is best done if you are farming to craft. Generally you can sell the materials on the auction house, but I prefer to suggest something else as well, just in case you guys don't feel that it's worth your time in order to do so. So in addition to that, I would highly recommend taking the Saronite ore and crafting it into their Saronite bars, and then taking that over to your alchemist and transmuting it into titanium bars. 8 Saronite bars turn into 1 titanium bar. This is quite good, especially with the transmutation master proc of 20%, where you gain on average 20% more materials. This is obviously an average and this does vary, so don't take my word that if you craft 100 you're going to get 120, because that's just not feasible. You could get higher or lower depending, it's just the baseline average, so please take that into account. And if you want to go on a conservative level, you can always say 15%. Alongside all of that, what I tend to do with the herbs is I find that the herbs don't go for an awful lot of gold. However, if you actually take the herbs and you mill them using a scribe and turning them into their respective inks, you can take that a step further and get gain a decent chunk of gold overall. I find that this to be a great way in order to actually get the most out of my farming session, and with the inks from Wrath of the Lich King, they tend to sell relatively well in the grand scheme of inks and also in the realm of just sales in general. Other than that, the other thing of note is that you can even take that even further and craft them into their respective glyphs. I find that crafting them into the inks and then the glyphs is the best option for me, and it generally actually increases my gold per hour by a stupid percentage, and I'm quite happy with doing a farm like this, seeing the gold per hour and going, oh, it's not too good today, but the next day I'm actually pretty dang awesome because I've crafted them into the glyphs and I've made my money back and a hell of a lot more. So it's always worth checking out what you can actually get for this farm overall. Playing the field with your professions and making the most out of your gold farming is one way in order to increase the gold per hour for yourself, to make it that much more viable than other gold farmers. Alongside that, remember this is the 60 days worth of gold farming to celebrate the release of my game Void Edge of Existence, which is now on Steam. If you want to check it out, then you can help me with my crippling addiction to coffee by purchasing the game, and also let me know what you think of the game in general if you have not already. Other than that, guys, have a wonderful rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.